Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Select Talent Network. We are going to preview the playoffs for both Division 1 and Division 2 here in Select Talent. And I may go over some other news here later. And we do have a couple of games that are already in the books. But with me today, we've got our resident from the north here in Indiana. We've got Corey, and
There we go.
with us, first time on the podcast, we have from Colorado, we've got Phil Rimmer.
What's happening, everyone?
All right, well, let's get into it and let's go ahead and pull up the brackets, shall we, for D1, and we'll see where this takes us. All right. So we've had a couple of games in the books already, so we actually have a couple of second round matchups. First, Corey, do we have an update on Alabama and Ohio State?
As of right now, we don't, but we should know within the, I would say, next 36 to 48 hours, we will know the
Okay.
winner of that game.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, those of you who, just so we can fill everyone in, Miami, Ohio is not actually in the playoffs. We had a minor mistake. We'll call it computer and or human error. Either way, we want to make sure we get it rectified. And we had a game going to Notre Dame that should have gone to Alabama. So with that, Alabama unfortunately missed the playoffs. They probably would have edged out USC. But with that, we are just sliding them in as a bonus 12-5 game against Ohio State. Again, the winner of that game does go on to play Notre Dame. That game's going to be played in play now, and it will continue to put it in play now as long as Alabama would advance. That's just a little bit of housekeeping, but again, going down the list, the top four seeds, as for the EA College Football Playoff Committee, we have number one, Tennessee. The Volunteers come in at a record of 13 and 0. I believe they're the only undefeated team left in D1. Again, these are the top 32 schools based off the previous 10 years of college football playoff poll appearances. Say that three times fast. Uh, but on the other end of the bracket, and number two, we have a 12 and 1 Utah. And the three seed out of the Big 12 are the Kansas Jayhawks. And out of the Big 10, since we did move some conferences around, we have Notre Dame, and that coach is with us today. Uh, Again, Corey, what do you think about this first top four picks?
very interesting.
Does it go how you thought it was going to go? A little higher, a little lower?
Honestly, I didn't. Big 12, I mean, I thought that Kansas State may have came out on top because of the dual threat ability of Avery Johnson. And then you had the transfer Dylan Edwards from Colorado. But Tennessee don't shock me at all. I mean, what did
Can I get a comms check on Corey? Are we still good on that? No, I'm checking for the people in attendance. There we go. Try
Hello?
again. Try again.
Can you hear me?
I think we're good.
Okay. So yeah, I think the biggest
Okay, we
shocker.
good.
All right. Good. Good. But no, yeah, no. The first, I mean, the top four. I mean, I guess as the coach of Notre Dame, I would say even I'm shocked that I get a top four seed, seeing how we're typically FBS independent, and the Big Ten was very stacked this year. So it was we had three teams get in. So
So what was it? What was it like with basically the top eight teams um, being in that conference from a
whew,
player's perspective? Any days off?
Oh no, it you never get a day off. I mean, when you feel, I'll put it like this. I felt very confident going in, and then I struggled against the 11th seed against USC, and then I was worried about the Big Ten title game. That's when I started, like, when you don't think that, when you think you're in a good position and then you lose that game that you really actually need, it gets to you mentally. It definitely got to me.
I'm
I
surprised
was for
that
sure rattled.
any. I'm surprised that even Tennessee went undefeated. I didn't think anyone was going to do it. Like just
Yeah, I'm
looking
Yeah,
at this
surprised by
conferences.
that too.
undefeated was definitely shocking.
Yeah, they still have to win
Undefeated.
3. They're not out of the
I
woods
mean,
yet.
I'm not surprised that
Doesn't
they're
really
not.
even come
Okay,
close to them. Like I don't even think anyone's really given Tennessee a tough game, and not only are they undefeated, but they look like they could be Saban and Bama and select talent. I mean, his quarterback's a freshman still, and he
Woo!
was
yeah.
up for the Heisman and like leads the passing yards. So Tennessee not only is nasty this year, but they're going to be scary good for the foreseeable future and select talent.
That just means that
Well,
someone's got to step up.
I mean, they have to go either through two Big Ten teams or two SEC teams by chance. So I mean, or one of each. I mean, it's gonna be a rough sledding for Tennessee ahead. I think with tough competition.
That's what the playoffs are for. Speaking of, let's go into a couple of games. So we'll start with the one that hasn't taken place yet. We've got the 10-7 game. That is with a 9-3 Florida Gators back up against the
Hold
nine and
on.
three Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yeah, it doesn't let you access it through that end.
I'm going to
I got
take
it
Florida in that one just because
right here.
Florida played me tough, and I just haven't seen Texas Tech play. So I'm going to take Florida kind of by default. And, the Texas Tech, I think they'll be able to put up points, but I was pretty surprised with how good Florida plays defense. And he does some really good slot fade routes that pretty tough to stop on a consistent basis along with his running game.
Yeah, again, let's see. I think it's going to be a toss-up. I know Texas Tech does come in with a higher seed. They do get the home game over at Jones AT&T Stadium. It should be rocking. Let's see what is our next game up. We should have that. It looks like it's 5-11. It looks like we had already had a game with Penn State and USC. If we want to pull that one
Oh,
up, we can go over that. It does look
yeah,
like
it
Penn
was.
State came out on top, 31-22.
My comments on this game. This game was actually, the score does not do it justice. Honestly, it really don't, because it was a lot closer than it looks. I mean, it got very interesting towards the end. It literally took a last second field goal to put Penn State up by 9 to
Ooh.
secure the win. It took them, like, I think it was a 33-yard field goal to
Welcome,
to seal it.
welcome to the playoffs.
Well, and I think like most games, it was turnovers. I think USC had a couple interceptions that you hold on to the ball, you might get that upset over Penn State there. And no disrespect to you, Notre Dame, but my money would be on Penn State as the most likely to be able to beat Tennessee this year.
No,
I know you don't
you're
like
really
that
not
Notre
wrong.
Dame, but
No, you're not wrong.
If that happens, I think they're on the bottom half of the bracket. I think that's going to be a
Here, let me go back
dogfight.
and check it. Let me go check the bracket. Not for real though. Like, if when I played at home against Penn State. They're scary.
Cincinnati has Florida by 17. Woo. Well, just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, Penn State's got to make it there first. We got a couple people watching already, and just want to check on that from the stream. Again, Penn State already did beat USC in that close fight contest. The next game, the 8-9 matchup, the other one we know that is in the books. You can throw out Ohio State, Miami. That one's not played yet.
No.
But this,
Ooh! It was
Georgia,
over. It was over.
took a bite out of the little apple. 38-10. Looks like offense was about even, but offense doesn't equal points always. Although we will talk about Shador Sanders, and we'll get to that here in a bit. But yeah, that was a game for the ages. I do apologize. We tried to broadcast that game live from the Pac-12 championship game. That was a select talent instant classic. For those of you who get a chance, I would definitely recommend watching that again. But
CU airs it out, man. They really are kind of fun to watch with that deep ball. They throw it and throw it a lot, and Shadur's able to make some amazing throws.
we must not have watched the same game. But we'll get back to that here in a bit. But yeah, so again, Georgia with the upset, Penn State holding. Really, I would probably, if I had to make my, I had to put on my hat, I'm going Texas Tech against Florida. So let's look at those early. We have two matchups that we already have. We've got Georgia and Tennessee. Can we pull up either one of their schedules? We can look at the previous games and take a peek and try to take a little deeper dive since we already have that.
Yeah, let's pull up Tennessee's. I mean,
yeah, just go to the champs. We'll do that, and we'll do that for the other game.
Undefeated in the SEC. It's impressive.
All right. Again, we're just win against Ole Miss, a win in Baton Rouge, walloped Auburn, took it easy on Kent State. They probably played the backups.
They don't count.
Destroyed Florida. Close win against Bama. Again, Bama's going to sneak into this tournament. Solid win against Oklahoma. Kentucky is still ranked, but that doesn't matter. And then on November 16th, after a bye, they won a 3-point game. Can you pull up that box score? This is the one we're looking at.
Absolutely.
Both the games were tight. You're looking at Georgia came out on the losing end both times. But yeah, that's the one thing I wish this game did is it gave you the actual score breakdown at the end of the game. Like
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Scoring summary.
Yeah. You're failing us. But again, you're looking at it. Offense almost even. It's that passing attack. Really, Georgia outthrew them too.
I mean, they went back at it in the SEC title game. So
yeah, we'll go check that too. And in their most recent tilt, 44 points in the fourth quarter, 49 in the second combined. We're going to have to put the over-under at, I would say, 110 for this one coming up. I'll probably leave it here. And,
yeah. I'm excited for this one personally because the Georgia user is really confident. I'm sure that they can beat Tennessee, this third time, seeing how they played them twice.
Yeah, as long as they don't see Clemson again, I think they're good.
It's tough to beat a team though 3 times in a row.
Yeah, including that's the last game. Oh, and we do have an update, ladies and gentlemen. We have a playoff game scheduled pretty much right when this wraps up. We may be able just to jump in live. We have Florida at Texas Tech at 8:45 Eastern. Can we,
Awesome.
Nick, can we get a confirmation that that's Eastern time?
Let me go get that confirmation. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, Georgia lost both of those games, but I I don't think we've advanced to that round of the playoffs yet.
No, not just quite yet.
Yeah. So yeah, Georgia lost back-to-back games against Tennessee, but they fought them closer than pretty much anybody else.
Well,
And then let's go to the other game that we have on the docket that we have inked. And that would be Penn State and Kansas. Big Ten,
Kansas
Big
and Penn
12.
State. Ooh.
Kansas is 12-1. Let's check out the Jayhawks really quick. It's not basketball, but that's impressive.
Yeah, right. They're known for being a basketball school. I mean,
I know their
Nah.
quarterbacks had a heck of a year, Daniel.
Oh yeah, they got a running back too.
Yeah, they've been
Oh,
on
yeah, and
fire.
Devin
I mean,
Neal.
they're one of those teams that they're going to be tough in the playoffs too. I mean, at this point, it's anyone's game. I think Tennessee's the clear favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas or Penn State won it all.
Ooh, and they lost to the rival.
yeah, that one always hurts. But then they beat them in the conference championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And I think Kansas State fired everyone involved with the program after that game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm taking Penn State. As somebody who I'm not. I mean, I haven't seen any really Kansas games. But as
I
somebody
mean,
who played
Kansas
Penn
doing
State-
that with an 81 overall too is no slouch. So
absolutely not.
so yeah, they're building down there in Lawrence.
I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go over to State.
I'll say this about Penn State. I moved my D tackle like once, and that coach was all over it and did a 30 yard touchdown.
Now we
Oh,
get
yeah.
One move.
we get people from all walks of life here in Select Talent, but I do want to let you know I do believe Penn State's coach. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's the OC at Indiana High School. That's why he's not always available, especially Friday nights.
I cannot tell you.
But yeah, he's a coach for sure. Penn State with the overall going down. I got some solid wins. They picked up that win against Notre Dame, Michigan State.
I think that Ohio State one was a big win for them.
Yeah,
Or, no, that's a
lost
big
by lost by 2, lost by 1, really 2 for the win.
Yeah.
Again, that shows how competitive these leagues are. So, again, you can take a look. There's not many days off. Like even Wisconsin is not a slouch.
No.
Got kind of pasted in the Big Ten championship game, but again turned it around against SC.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick somebody that was not myself,
Oh, that's
I
not All
personally-
Rise. That's Scream and Rage.
I think if I don't, as long as I don't pick myself, obviously, I think Penn State might have the best shot to win.
They're a really good all-around
that-
team.
Yeah, their running game is scary. I ain't gonna lie. He rushed for like 300 or 400 yards the first time against me. Caught me off guard.
Yeah, and he runs out of the shotgun and just does a lot of different stuff that's tough to know what's coming, and there's just not a lot of weaknesses there with
That
Penn
and that-
State.
Yeah, that and that 3-back look. Oh, so hard to stop.
And he's got some good tight ends as well. His tight ends, I think, are some of the top tight ends
Yeah.
in the country.
Jacob Warren is a monster.
All right. Well, again, I think we've got some exciting action. We'll recap here after the next round before we get into the semis. But let's switch gears a little bit
All right.
and
Where do you want to go?
let's go to the Wild D2.
Oh, is that wild?
You thought this was crazy. It gets, but wait, there's more.
Oh, you think that was as wild as it gets? D2 gets even more insanity.
So
I think
again,
that's
let me
why.
just tell everybody at home, in case you were just now following the league, Division Two is that next group of teams that were outside of the top 32 total playoff college football playoff championship appearances. So you've got a bunch of solid teams. There's still not many days off. Again,
No.
it's loaded. And let's just take a peek. We have most of the games in here already as well. But let's go over. We have a pair of undefeated teams at 1-3. You've got the Baylor Bears out of Waco, Texas. University of Colorado at Boulder is at 3-0 or 13-0, excuse me. And then we have with the 2 seed, actually over Colorado, probably simply because of the Pac-12 championship game. Miami, the Hurricanes in at 11-2. And then at the 4th spot, you've got the Purdue Boilermakers out of West Lafayette, Indiana. So, with that, what do we think about those rankings? And hopefully, we're one game away from the greatest rematch ever.
I am very excited to watch Baylor. I think that's what I'm excited for. Their air raid is insane with DeQuan Finn, and they got Monterey Baldwin, he may be small, but he is fast. I mean, burners.
I have Baylor over Colorado this week in real life.
I've got Colorado over Baylor.
We'll fight later. It's okay.
And hey, you know what? I got Nebraska over all of them. I don't care. Dylan Raiola is built different.
All right. Well, again, these are matchups we have 3 out of the 4 second round games in the books already. So let's go over the 11-6 game.
Is anyone else surprised to see Purdue as a 4 seed? I mean, that user I give a lot of credit to. I mean,
I'm right here.
I mean, you have to like Purdue.
Hey, man, Purdue. There you go.
We were supposed.
I'm not gonna lie.
We moved Purdue up because we wound up having to balance that out a little bit due to competition. When the ratings came out, Purdue still wanted to get pulled up, so we grabbed them. Illinois and Indiana made a pretty solid Big Ten. Yeah, they took care of business. 12-1 is no slouch. What was the loss to?
I don't want to talk about it. I took my eye off the ball against Washington.
Well,
Defensively, I took my eye off the ball. I still put up 60 points that game, but they just outscored me. Their run game, Washington, their running back ran for 300 yards.
all right.
I dropped the ball.
Well, they made it in as the 8-9 game, and we'll cover that here next. But what are you guys' thoughts on UCLA Louisville?
I mean, I think I have to take UCLA as Louisville has no speed on the outside. I've seen Louisville games and UCLA games. Louisville absolutely has no burners. I think that might be important. I mean, UCLA is pretty good on defense. So.
Yeah, you can't coach speed.
No.
Yeah, I would lean with UCLA as well. I will say, I mean, the turnover battle. I think if Louisville can get some turnovers, that they could easily snatch that one. But turnover battles, even I would take UCLA.
Yeah.
All right, and we did have 3 games in. Virginia Tech played the AI that we had, the only AI we have in the Select Talent Playoffs. That is Cal. That's a D3 team, so we don't really need to cover that. We know we do have Virginia Tech in Purdue in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So next down on the list, if you want to go ahead and pop that open, we have number 8 Memphis holding fast against Washington with a 3-point win. They're going to head into a rematch of the Big 12 championship game against Baylor.
I will say for this game though, Memphis utilized his speed at his running back position for sure.
33 for 291 and a pair of teddies.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to be able to run the ball more in that game? It seems like both teams really want to run, and I'm going to side with Washington just because of what they did last year. I think they've got more talent heading into this year than Memphis, and I think that will give them the edge in this playoff game.
Yeah, unfortunately, that one's already concluded. It was a final 52 for Memphis, 49 for the Huskies.
Oh.
Yeah, they put up a combined, what is it?
101.
They put over 500 yards on the ground between the two teams.
And that's where it'd be cool to see the scoring summary, too, to see if, Memphis kicked a last-second field goal or if it was a last-second touchdown by Washington to cut it to 3.
Right.
Yeah. Again, EA. We got work. We got work for 26. We have, again, it's a great game, but we have just a few improvements you could put on the back end for us. Going on, let's go back to check out the other game that's in the books, the other one that does count. That is the 10-7 game, Cincinnati and Mississippi State.
I could. Would you like me to
Go for it.
summarize? Yeah.
Go for it.
Basically, the end of that was so Cincinnati drove down the field, scored a touchdown, and went for 2 to win the game instead of taking it to overtime. And
I respect the move, but yeah, Matt's voice said it all there.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, so what happened was they had a dive, I believe, or a power to the right side, and there was no defenders on the left side, so they flipped it. So they switched sides of where they were going to run. Except Mississippi's defender decided to push the offensive tackle all the way back into the quarterback and it it was rough.
So close yet so far, but somebody has to come away victorious. That one goes to the Bulldogs in Starkville. They're going to go ahead and let's preview that next matchup. Don't want to dwell too much on the pain there. Yeah, sorry about that, Cincinnati. Yeah, this is what the playoffs are going to bring out. We know that we got a lot of teams with a lot of wins, and they're not going to win them all. There's only one team that's going to walk out of here without catching another loss. So that's going to leave us, again, we have a possible rematch of UCLA and Colorado, a game in which Shedeur Sanders threw 3 pick sixes.
Yeah.
And was in a dogfight to the last second against UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA.
Just UCLA fumbled the ball at the first snap of the game, and it was just a wild Pac-12 championship.
Yeah, I think what happened at the end of the game when UCLA was on defense, I think there was a busted coverage on the left side.
Yup.
And Jimmy Horn, I think it was, got loose for the touchdown, or maybe it was the tight end. Somebody got loose. So
who do you guys like to win this D2 bracket? Because I know Matt was saying he likes Baylor. I personally would take CU. I get that they've had some issues, but I would take CU to win it all out of this D2 bracket.
I mean, I really think it's going to be a toss-up. The football IQ is high when you get to this level, and do not slouch on Miami. There's a reason they're number 2. So really, it's anybody's game still. You can see how tight those playoff games that we played were. There's a total of 4 points between 2 games.
Call me crazy, as I'm not going to pick myself. That would be too biased. Call me crazy, but I'm going to take Mississippi State to get all the way to the national championship and win.
I like the pick, Corey, and I would be very impressed if you're able to win it with Purdue. I
played Mississippi State twice, and it's hard to like the first time I played them, I threw like 5 picks in the first half. It was they're good. They're the real deal. And yeah, they've won like 10 straight now, I think it is.
In what seed is Mississippi State? Who are they playing next?
They got the U.
Miami.
Ooh, that ought to be a great matchup.
Yeah. I don't know if I see CU winning only because of the mental mistakes that they made against UCLA, knowing that if UCLA wins, UCLA wins against Louisville, which they're playing tonight, I believe, in about an hour.
Oh, I don't even think it's
Are
that
they
long.
gonna
I think we've got a game. Oh, you're saying they're playing tonight?
Yeah.
So we may have back to back.
Um,
I know
but
we.
I think Colorado, UCLA knows that offense now. Took them down to the wire in the Pac-12 championship. I mean, I could see the world of UCLA pulling it off and beating Colorado. I mean,
And that's the third time they've met this year too. UCLA
yeah,
and Colorado.
Colorado's won the first two. It's like you said earlier, it's hard to win 3 in a row.
For sure.
But
But-
yeah, it's looking like we could have some fun.
Oh, absolutely. And Baylor's definitely the hardest team to beat here. There's no doubt about it. They're one seed. They're the right team to be the 1 seed over a Colorado team.
I mean,
For sure.
the one thing about Colorado is they immediately finish the season and go into rebuilding. But the something maybe people haven't considered. You see where these teams rank. You see all the teams from Division 1 didn't make it into this playoffs. There's going to be a lot of very unhappy players. You get a coach like Coach Prime, he's probably going to bring in a level of transfers
Oh yeah.
that may not have been seen before, even to his own standards.
Well, I
Like
think
that
the
could
only thing
be.
that Coach Prime
that's-
has proven he can do is recruit at this point. I don't know if his X's and O's is all that great, or his in-game coaching as well. He can definitely get the talent there.
For sure.
It comes down to the user at this point in our league too. So if he can recruit, that could be scary. Again, Baylor grabbing those recruits out of Texas and Miami, you can't say anything. So these top teams are looking to be poised and do some things. So it's going to be interesting to see who can break through, who can catch them, and season 2 is going to be fun. And we're trying to get at least 6 seasons in before we switch over to 26. As we get
So are you
going,
throwing Baylor or Miami out of this D2 bracket, Matt?
I'm going to say.
Here comes the personal bias.
Oh, 100%. We're going to say I'm here in Indianapolis, just like 2021 in the Final Four. I'm going to take the Bears.
Matt, I hate to tell you, but if I get to play Baylor, definitely not going to try and let Baylor's not getting past me. My defense is built more for a pass style offense than a run defense. My defense is all about that pass.
That's the thing. If
That's why
anybody
I-
has a run game, they could probably torch Colorado. That's why I don't see them getting past Miami. I just think
Right.
I see Miami winning that game. And
Yeah.
at some point that Colorado's going to, someone can exploit that weakness up front. It's
My
going to take a
question
team
for-
like Miami,
Yeah.
Baylor, Purdue to do it, because you need to have the tools in the bag to pull that off.
Well, and my question about Baylor is, playing in the what conference are they in? The
Big 12.
Big 12. So I don't know what defenses they've seen necessarily, but if they end up having to play Purdue, if Purdue can manage to beat a very, very talented Virginia Tech team,
At 13-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't sleep on
You've
them.
got a tough one coming up.
Yes, I do. But
Cincinnati put in the chat her prediction for Purdue Baylor. Purdue at
yeah,
35, Baylor 63.
yeah. Will Baylor be able to pass the ball against the team who had like 50 plus interceptions and the freshman safety Coy Beasley, defensive player of the year nationally with 14 interceptions? Can Baylor pass against that? Is the question.
Well, I mean, just looking at it, I think it's going to be a really interesting game between Memphis and Baylor, just because of how much you said, Memphis was running the ball. I think it's the same
Can
issue
we go
that.
back to that? Can we go back to that while we still got some time? Go back to the Memphis
Memphis.
Baylor game championship.
Oh yeah. Let me go back to that.
What was the first game while you were before we?
Oh. The first score was 66-42 Baylor. The stats? Whew. Oh wow. They made Memphis pass the ball. Memphis couldn't run. They had 10 carries for 72 yards.
That's the problem. You get behind as a running team, you're kind of forced to pass, and then you might throw some picks, and that's
Yeah.
the trouble.
Yeah, the conference championship wasn't
We'll
as
check that out
close.
too.
Yeah, that one was
Baylor's murderous on third downs.
even worse, 10 for 38. Man.
Yeah, when you're 8 of 10 on third and fourth down, you're staying on the field and getting points.
Yeah, and then you're one dimensional. And then they just sit back. Wish they had turnovers. Like that's the ones. Go down and see if you have turnovers at the by time of
Yeah.
possession.
Wow. 7-2.
That's why I have Baylor winning the chip.
Hey.
They force
They
them
can
to
win
go
the turnover battle by 5
force them
every
to
game
go
there.
one dimensional and then pick them off.
Yeah.
And they got a fumble too. Yikes!
Run the ball, play D. That's a winning formula in playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Passing's just a bonus, but you have to have some type of balance, or people are going to do this to you.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because me as Purdue, I've won by 3 touchdowns every game. And Memphis, when I played Memphis, they I know I doubled their score, but that game was a lot closer than it looks. Like, I mean, I didn't end up pulling away until the later third, start of the fourth quarter.
Same
So,
thing, picks. Make them throw and got some picks.
Yep.
Is that what happened to make it get away? Or
Yep, I forced them into 5 interceptions. Is what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, I don't see Memphis holding this one out.
I would agree with you there, Matt. That looks like a tough battle for Memphis. Tough matchup.
especially that Baylor has Richard Reese, one of the best backs. Yeah, Baylor's a very good team. They're scary.
With a
For
defensive coach.
Yeah, literally.
Dave Aranda.
So, yeah.
Shout out to Coach Dave. And but yeah, that's about it. I think we are here. We should shortly be able just to slide over. And if you guys want to stay on, we can cover Florida in that playoff game tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got some time. I'll stay on for a bit.
All
I
right.
want to watch that game anyway. It should be awesome. Go Gators.
He likes to throw the ball, and when I played that last night, I did not know what
Yeah,
the
let me
half
just
the time
find out
run,
what
so I'm
the
going right back to
YouTube
what I've
is.
been
Okay,
running.
turn
Learn how
my
to run.
YouTube.
off the commentators.
Have a triple commentator.
No, we need him to. I was sending that to Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, does anybody know how to turn off commentators? On the stream?
No.
Yeah. Fireball said it's in the audio.
Really,
Let me see. It's in the audio sliders just in the game. Oh. Yeah, I think it's. I'm going to leaks. That's not. Would this be? Oh no, that's the wrong one. I guess it would be. Oh, that'd be it. Fireball, I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, actually, we are.
Oh, okay, good, Dom. Gameplay sliders. Okay, so he said you're right here. Oh, that's not it. It's right here. I don't know if you can see me or not. All rise. Is it this one? And which one do I need to do? I'll mute my mic once he tells me to do it. Once we start it up. Oh no, don't want to do that.
All right, so I'm going to kill our stream. We just did a little technical difficulties. I'm going to keep you guys here in the headset as we wait for Texas Tech to get in the building. We'll start that stream as soon as that game goes live. Thanks everyone for watching, and hope you have a great night. Let's slide over. We got some playoff football.
They have my game pulled up on the Select Talent show live, so that's where it's going to be broadcasting tonight. So he, when the game starts, I won't be talking because he's going to commentate it, I believe. No, I've already got it taken care of. Okay, holding it. Okay. 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 Uh-huh.